Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson here on the channel. Today we're going to be touching on part 2 of my Amazon PPC optimization video series. Last time in this video, right here, we covered how to optimize your brand new PPC campaigns and try and lower that ACoS, try and get them profitable. And here we're back just about 2 weeks later. We haven't touched the campaigns. We have tons of data to look at since our last optimization. This will be the last video in this short series here of learning how to optimize PPC. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy watching, be sure to stick around to the end. Be sure to like and subscribe if you happen to be new. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we are just gonna start right with our manual here. I like to generally just go in order from the top down. I don't really tend to go by what's doing the best, what's doing the worst. Just do it nice and strategic, start from the top, work our way down, we'll optimize as we go. Let's jump right into manual here. We can see we've spent $356.87 and we've made $659.01. We have 54% ACoS, 33 orders. Let's go in a little bit further and take another look. A little bit deeper, some more information for us. So we have broad and phrase and 2 ad groups, and they're actually, generally they'll be kind of, different, right? Maybe one's really good, one's really bad. In this case, they're pretty close. We have 59% and 50% ACoS. You just click right in here. That's a little shortcut, so you don't have to click into broad and then go to targeting. That'll just bring you right to targeting if you click on that. And we'll go take a look at what our troublemakers are. I always want to know who's causing trouble, who's spending our money without getting us sales. We can see one down here. It's definitely a troublemaker. We have $19 spent with no sales, 21 clicks, no sales, 3,000 impressions, no sales. So we'll have to be, we'll definitely take a look at that. But I'll just sort by spend here first. Go spend top to bottom. We'll take a look. So the first thing I want to take a look at is just these keywords that actually have sales. So we have 10 sales from Picture Hanger at a 24% ACoS, and this campaign's out of budget, and we have all these things down here wasting money when this has an actually profitable ACoS right where it is. So actually, what might be smart, now here's something I want to warn you of right up front. Don't ever take something that's working and go, oh, since it's working, I'm going to go move this to its own campaign and just give it like $100 a day budget. Never do that, okay? Because there's a lot going on in the background that you don't understand. That actually, the older the campaign is, the better, and the older the keyword phrase is, the better. So if anything, we would want to take all of these keywords, move them out of this campaign, and just leave that one running if we wanted to be dramatic. But I don't think we have to do that. I'm just saying, if you were to want to just put one keyword in a campaign and run it, which that one would be a good one to do if we were to, that would be how you do it. Leave that one in the campaign where it's working. Best thing to go by is if you have something that's working, don't change it. Okay, change what's not working until it does. So here we have 24% ACoS. We're actually not going to touch that. It's working. I'm not going to touch it. I'm happy with that actually. 76.97. That's definitely way too high. That's actually like double where we're at. So in our last video we talked about having a 30% profit margin on this product where we're priced competitively still. We could get a higher margin in the future, but right now we're really just trying to rank. So we really want to get our PPC under 30%. This is really high. So we have 47 and 2 orders. That means we're averaging about every 23 clicks, 23 and a half clicks, we're getting a sale. That's pretty high. That's really high actually. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this down a little further. You see our average cost per click is 65. I'm literally going to just nearly chop that in half. I'm going to come right down to like about 38. And you'll just get used to kind of where you want your bid to be. In my head, now this isn't an exact science, but I'm trying to cut my ACoS in half. So let's see what happens if I cut my bid in half. We could always raise it back up if we're not getting impressions next week or the next 2 weeks. But if we don't kind of make these aggressive changes, we won't really see what our changes are doing. So just in this specific case where it's really high, I'm going to cut it nearly in half. Now here, this one I'm actually just gonna turn this right off. Because we have 21 clicks, we have $19 spent, and it just did absolutely nothing. No big question last time was, when do you turn something off? I would say 15 to 20 clicks, no sale. Let's just turn it off. Because there's other keywords that we wanna leverage that money that we're putting into our marketing towards. And that we don't really have room for keywords that are just gonna waste our money like that. So we'll get rid of that one. You can see it's not often that I turn something off. I tend to like to give things, some space to prove that they can work before they do, but that's clearly had enough time to prove that it would work, and it still hasn't made a sale. So then we have this 55% ACOS here, just has one order, and let's see, 79% or 79 cent cost per click. And this is wall hanging kit. We have 86-cent bid currently on that. Again, we really need to basically cut that in half. So why don't we go ahead and take that down to 35. I'm going lower with that one than I am with this one. If anything, yeah, this should be a little bit lower. Maybe we'll go 30 for that. Cool, so we kind of do that as we go. And then we could see all of these keywords here from basically there to here. We have, where's our spends? We have $8, we have 8 clicks, 5, and then all the way down to 1. So in this situation, I know that my profit margin per unit at 30% of 20 is only going to be around $6 per unit. Just at this starting price. So I already know that that's actually over 100%, well, not 100% ACOS, that's not even near 100% ACOS because ACOS is based off of your sales price. But I already know that that's not profitable. It may still work because we haven't really hit close to 15 or 20 clicks. Like if it made a sale right now, it would still need to lower its bid. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to select all of these ones that haven't made sales yet, but have spent money, have impressions, and I'm going to decrease their bid because clearly what we're bidding isn't working. Now, in cases like this, where you've only spent, maybe we back off a little, we've only spent 3 to 70 cents, those aren't really trouble causers. So we could actually back off a little. I won't select these now that I just saw that because those aren't really wasting a whole lot of money. $3 spent on a keyword phrase. I'm okay with giving that a little bit more room to breathe. So we'll do adjust bid. We'll decrease bid by percentage on these ones. So in this situation, we have keywords that have got about 5 to 10 clicks. They're spending about $5 to $10, but we haven't made a sale yet. Just gonna decrease those bids by 25% and see if we can make some sales, okay? Now we're already not getting a ton of clicks, so by the nature of decreasing your bid, you're gonna get even further less impressions. But when we have a word that's doing so well up here, I really want to give that more of the space in surface area of the budget to work with. So I'm going to decrease those, but here's something interesting. We have all these keywords down here that have no impressions. So what you can actually do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, I've never tried this. Does this work? No, it doesn't. I was seeing if you could like shift click and then click in all of these automatically. But I'm going to take all these ones that have 0 impressions or very, very few impressions. And actually, we're going to increase those, right? Because those are, we've clearly bid too low on those initially. And we want to increase bid by percentage. Let's just go up 25% on those. So we're going to increase those bids 25%. That's pretty dramatic. Like I said, I like to make kind of dramatic changes with my PPC for things that aren't working to see, will they ever work? Or will they not? Because if they're not, we could literally pretty much cancel everything on this campaign. It's been running for 2 weeks now. If something doesn't have any sales by next week, let's just shut everything down except for what's getting a majority of our sales, and let's just give this a really high budget and be really aggressive. Because that's when you really want to start scaling. Once we've honed in the fact that this is profitable, that's when I would want to start really seeing, okay, I don't need a ton of keywords. This is getting me 80%. If you've ever heard of the 80-20 rules, 20% of your effort's going to cause 80% of your results. So in this case, that's basically true. It's actually entirely true. We have 13 orders, 10 of them are from one word. So by next week, if I'm not getting more sales successfully from these other keywords, I'm going to cut back just about everything that hasn't done something yet. I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to make sure that the words that are working are fine-tuned. And then instead of a $20 budget, I'm going to take this, and maybe we'll do one more video about this. I'll take this and I'll go maybe $50, $100, or $250 with the budget because I know it's profitable. So it's a money machine. Our test with this product went really well. We actually went through all 350 of our units very quickly. We're still in stock now. I have about maybe 80 left. But in just the first month, we really sold out very quickly with a pretty unoptimized listing. It was really just more of a test. I did put a mediocre amount of effort into the listing, but still I could do so much better. So I can't even imagine once I come back in with optimized PPC, with new packaging, with new photography, I'm working on all of that now, how this is going to go. So this was a cool test run. So that's it for this campaign. I'm going to head over to our phrase ad group now, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to click in here. This one had a slightly lower ACOS. And as you can see, we have keywords that have done more. We have 4 keywords that have been making sales here. So again, here's a situation where we have 85 clicks, but we only have 3 orders. So in that situation, we're averaging just under 30 clicks per sale, which is really bad. We have that 125% ACOS. Picture hanging tool I actually rank highly for organically. So again, in this situation, 125% ACOS. There's not many situations where I want to keep pushing this. I'll keep it in the loop, but I'm going to take that cost per click and I'm going to cut it into maybe even, I would still need to go more than a third. So maybe I put this at a 25-cent bid. We're going to keep it in the loop just because it's so relevant, but I'm going to reduce it significantly. Here we have 35%, so we're just slightly unprofitable there. We have, again, you see this happening a lot, a bulk of our orders coming from just this one where we spent $80, we sold $239, 64 cents worth of inventory. So with just 5%, I'm going to do something like maybe we have a 94% or 94 cent cost per click. Maybe I just come down to maybe 90 cents. I put that decimal in there, not $90. And we'll just see what that does, because that'll definitely be profitable now. With 25,000 impressions at $1.04, I don't think going down to 90 is really going to cut our impressions too bad. I think that'll put us in a perfectly profitable area by next week. Then here we go, 4 orders, 28 clicks, so that's really good. Basically every 7 clicks, we're getting a sale. That's pretty good. And we have 45% ACOS. $1.31 cost per click. So again, usually when I'm optimizing, I'm not going off of where my bid is currently. I'm usually going off of my cost per click average, because that's, you could have a $15 bid, but your cost per click may only ever be $1.25 if that's the winning bid. So with the $1.31 frequently being my cost per click, and that's what's giving me a 45% ACOS, I want to be a little lower than $1.31. So I want to tell Amazon, hey, don't spend more than, in this situation, maybe I just want to go down 10%, 20%. Maybe I go down to like $1.15 or something. And we'll just give that a shot because we're not overwhelmingly high there. So we've done these 3. Now we have this one right here. And this is a situation where a lot of people will increase their bid significantly because they see that something's working. And it's working well. So then you go, oh, let me just dump a bunch of money into it. But the reason that it's working well might be because of the fact that the bid is so low. So I think there's still for 2 weeks of data to only have 2 clicks. We might have bid too low on this. We did get a sale and it's ridiculously low ACOS, which is phenomenal. But I actually am going to raise this up just a little. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and I'm going to go up to maybe 50 cents. We have a 53% cost per click, or 50, I keep saying percent. We have 53-cent cost per click. And then again, all of these here, we ideally would want to raise all of those. So we could go ahead and do that. We could take all of these. I'll check back in with you once I've clicked on all of these. Okay, so I've just clicked on all of those words that weren't getting any impressions or hardly any. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to adjust bid. We're going to increase bid by percentage, and we're going to do our 25%. Did I do $25? No, I didn't. Okay, we're good. So yeah, again, there's no real science to changing your bids. The idea is basically go up if it's too low and go down if it's too high. But I tend to make these kind of moves 10, 25%. That's generally a range if I'll change. I'll be really dramatic if I have a really high ACOS. We tend to go with that. So now we've done our manual optimization. One thing I want to check in is our search terms. We're actually going to go to this search terms report, and then we're going to sort by orders. So we have all these orders here. You can actually see our ACOS. We have far more ACOSs, right? So, well, why is there, so many ACOSs and so many things that got orders if you only had 4 converting keywords in your campaign? Well, it's because it's phrase, meaning that we can win the bid or get a sale from any customer search term that contains our phrase. So sometimes that might be our actual phrase. Right here, the customer searched wall hanging tool. Our keyword we bid on was wall hanging tool. We got a sale for that. We got 2 sales for that. But right here, you can see picture hanging kit is our phrase, but a customer searched decorative picture hanging kit. So picture hanging kit was intact. That phrase was intact right here. So we got a sale from that, and it was actually only a 10% ACOS for that specific one. So then what we're going to do here, just like last time, is we could actually sort by ACOS. We could take all the ones that are below our profit margin of 30%. And we could take those, and these 2 specifically we're already bidding on. We could take these ones here, like 18 to 2%, and we could take those guys and we could put them right inside of our customer search terms exact match targeting campaign. So here we could take, we'll just export is the best way to do this. If you export, one thing really quickly that we do have to check on before we do that is I want to sort by spend. And I want to see any phrases that have spent a lot without making any money, and we'll add those as negative exact match. And there's some pretty good examples here actually of things that we would want to get rid of. So this is clearly a brand here. So we're going to take that phrase and we're going to go add that to our negative targeting. Go add negative keywords, negative exact, add that in, save. Go back to search terms. We already have it sorted by spend, so we got rid of that one. Picture hanging toolkit, picture hanging tool. Those specifically, I don't think have spent enough or had enough clicks to make me say that those will never work. So I'm not going to do those, but this one I will do, right? Because of the fact that that is a brand that they're referring to. So the customer already shows their intention of who they want. What in the world did we just do? I accidentally copied too much. What we can do is phrase, and check this out. We could do soccer or saker, whatever, and just add keywords. So negative phrase, anything that contains that brand in any sort of phrase will not show, we won't target that. So we've kind of taken care of our negative there. I don't think there was anything else we really needed to do because all of these haven't really spent enough to make it worth putting them in negative. They're not really causing that much trouble, right? We've spent less than $1 on some of those, or just slightly over $1 on some of those, few dollars on those. So those still might convert at some point, profitably, I mean. So now let's head over to our next ad group and I'll meet you there. Okay, I realized I just said ad group, I meant campaign, but here we are. So we're gonna go down the line. We've just optimized this one. One thing important that I probably should have said at the beginning, when optimizing these campaigns, your date range should be from the time you last optimized. So important note there. Okay, so going into auto, we actually have, this is a profitable campaign. We almost made $550 with just $124 of ad spend. So this is fantastic. It's our auto low bid campaign. We'll click right into that dash there. And we could see actually specifically what match types are getting our low or high ACOSs. So substitutes is doing really well, has 26 orders, 22% ACOS. I'm actually happy with that. Lots of impressions. So we could probably take that down a little bit, but I'm okay with that 22% right now. Later, once I have more inventory in, I'll take that down just slightly, try and get that down to maybe 15% ACOS, but I'm actually happy with that right now. If we look at spend here, we've only spent $6 or $7 combined between loose and compliments. Impressions are still low, so we're gonna go ahead and make this one 70 and the next one 80. Reason we're doing that is because, well, clearly we haven't made really enough clicks, and it's very cheap to get a sale. So we're just gonna try and push those a little harder. If they end up getting to a point where they're just making a lot of clicks and a lot of impressions but still not getting sales, I'll just turn those right off because we already have substitutes working so well. And then here, again, this is working. So we're not going to change that. It's at 10% ACOS, spent $2, made a $20 sale. It's fantastic. 7 clicks on average. That's okay. I'm going to leave that one alone because it's at a good ACOS, has plenty of impressions. So you probably get it a little higher. Like if I wanted to be like kind of a wise guy, I could go maybe like 33 cents, just go up 2 cents. It's actually like a 10% increase since it's only a 30-cent bid or 31-cent bid. But yeah, that's it for auto. That's really it. That's how I'm going to optimize auto. This one specifically though, the big thing we're going to be doing is going to be looking at our search term report, because this is going to bid on so many different ASINs, so many different phrases. Auto is really good for going out and collecting data for you. So we're going to come in here and I'm just going to sort this by spend. This is where your negative targeting will come in handy. We've spent $8.15 clicks on this. Again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that ASIN and add it to negative targeting. What we're going to do first is I actually want to open up, if possible, can I open up negative targeting in another? Yeah, I can't do that. I'd have to open up a whole new tab, but that would be worth it. Let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, cool. So now we have our negative targeting opened up, and we also have our search terms here. So we'll go ahead and sort this by spend once more. And for instance, right here, we have this ASIN we're going to add to our negative targeting. We're going to take that, we're going to come over to our negative targeting, add negative keywords, negative exact, add, wonderful. Okay, now we're going to come back and let's see. So this has a 9% ACoS, 15, 7. These are all really, really good. But then we have another one who spent $6, 12 clicks, no sale. So we're going to add that to our negative targeting. Head over here. You can see how simple this is once you actually just open up a list like this. And I actually don't even have to hit add keywords every time. I'll just leave that open. So everything that we want to negative target, we can add. Here's another one, 6 clicks, spent $3. This one still could work. It's really not bad enough that I would want to add it. So I'm going to leave that for sure. I will totally leave that. And then in here, let's now sort by ACoS, because I don't think anything else really needs to be added to negative, because what I'm looking at is spend, and they're all so minimal that I don't think I need to negative target a lot of those. Those are fine. They could keep spending money like that for a while before they become unprofitable. But what I do want to look at is I want to look kind of like at ACoS. Sometimes there's things with really high ACoS. In this situation, there isn't. Look at all these super low ACoSs. So again, this is where we can go and take these and add them to our exact match. You notice pretty much all of these, except for frame hanging, is an ASIN. So that's pretty clear pattern of the fact that we're taking a lot of sales from other listings. So ideally what we'd want to do is we want to take all of these. Again, we can export this, and then when we go and add these to our exact match campaigns, we'll go ahead and do that. So we have those both here. The search term report pulled from auto. We also have it pulled from phrase. We would ideally want to pull one from broad too. But now that you know that, you can just do that. This video, I won't go do all of that, but I will go add those after. So now we're going to head back to our next campaign. And again, I'll see you there. Okay, so we are back here. We're going to come into customer search terms now. And this is where we'll actually be adding in our new search terms that we were just talking about in ASINs. So we'll add the ASINs to the PDA one, but this is where we can add a new search term. So we have 46% ACoS, and it looks like we've only got 2 words that have actually been making sales. Picture hangers has a 45% ACoS, 26 orders on that exact match. And so that's actually really good. So we have a $1.07 cost per click. Just going to take that down to like maybe 90 cents, 95 cents. And we'll see what that does. Here we have a 23% ACoS. Again, if it's working, don't touch it. And then here we have all these things which have only gotten a few clicks or no clicks and have very little spend. That could be a lack of search demand for any one of those things, like hanging stickers for picture frames. That might not necessarily be something that gets searched a lot. So it might not be that our bid's too low. You could go ahead and do our little trick here of increasing all of these. Like specifically picture hanging strips. I don't think, now that I'm looking at that, I don't think that'll ever really work. We don't sell picture hanging strips. It's actually an exact search term that doesn't make sense. And that would be why we've showed up 3,000 times, but only gotten clicked on 3 times. So I'm actually going to turn that one off completely, because I don't think that's ever going to make sense to show up for. And that was just my bad in vetting that last time that we did this. So what we can do is add keywords though. So we can open up our keyword report here. And this is nice. If you just open it, just export it. It's so much easier to bring them over. Then what we'll do is we'll sort this by ACoS is already sorted. So we would want to take all of these right up to 0.18 basically. And we'll take not the keywords because we're already bidding on those. We'll take the customer search terms. So we'll take right there. That's what we want. We'll just copy those. Super simple. Come over to add keywords. Do enter list. We want exact. Suggested bid is totally fine. We'll enter that list and look at that. We got all of them instantly. We'll just add that 75-cent bid. We'll save. And as usual, we'll just let it go with the suggested bid and see what happens until next week. So that's cool. So now let's head over to our last one, our PDA campaign, and I'll see you there. Okay, awesome. So we're here in our PDA campaign, which is our product display ad. We're gonna head into our first one here. We have a 36% ACoS. We're doing pretty good. We're very close to profitability, but we just wanna reduce that a little bit. So we're gonna go into targeting. Could have done that from there, but let's just see. So instantly right here, we have this massive issue. $40 in spend, 200, a situation like that where we've got 23 clicks. Again, I'm just gonna turn that right off. And you can see here how we have 19, 13, and 9. This one's not causing much trouble. It's off, that's why it's not causing much trouble. And then we have this one, which is also turned off from last time, and then this one's just too low. Probably means that they're just not, like at a $5 bid, that just means that a lot of people aren't scrolling down to that sponsored area on that listing. It might be a really low ranking listing. So in this situation, we've done everything we need to do. These are working phenomenally. We have 19, 13, and 9% ACoSs. This would actually be a campaign that we could start pumping up our budget on. These are all fine, nothing left to do here. So let's head back to our other ad group, which was our search term report ASINs. Not 82% ACoS. That's what we did last time. We purposefully went ahead and we set our bids really high because we wanted to show up right at the top and just figure out very quickly. If there's one way to figure out really quickly if something's going to work, set the bid really high. Because as you can see, this got 7 sales. We only spent $25, made $140 in sales, 17% ACoS, profitable right away. And then these two, well, we got the information we wanted, right? It's not going to work. We spent $121 on this. We only made $60. We're just going to turn that right off. Same thing here, 124. I'm just going to turn that right off. It's not really salvageable. If anything, usually my over 100% ACoSs, you could have two options, really, just decrease it, or in that situations like that where you're averaging 20 clicks before you get a sale, I'm just going to turn that off. Even over 15, maybe I might just turn it off. Here we have 86%. Again, we're almost tripling our profit margin of 30%. We spent $17. It's really expensive, actually. Only 8 clicks. We did get a sale, but in that situation, I just think it might be very few impressions. I just might think that might not work in that situation. Just a little too expensive to be doing that. We're spending a lot compared to what we're making. We could try and dial this back a little bit. Cost per click was $2.16. Maybe if we wanted to put like a 60-cent bid or something, that might work. We could do that. That one's, it's technically, I think, salvageable. It won't be something that ever produces a lot of sales for us. If at $5 we only got 1 order, I can't even imagine what's going to happen. So we might as well turn it off. But just to give you kind of an example, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lower it. These two here aren't really an issue. We have only spent $1 and then we've only spent 68 cents. So we could go ahead and leave those on. Really the big winner in this situation is this one right here. Now that we've optimized our PDA campaign, we have officially finished. Okay. The last thing we have to do, we haven't officially finished. We have to add our ASINs, right? We got this list here. We'll open up our other report that we downloaded. And again, we have the ACoS already sorted here. So if you're not really used to looking at ACoSs this way, this would be like 1%, of course. This would be 15%. So actually all of these ASINs we can add. So we'll take this right down to there and we'll add all of those. That's not an ASIN down there, but we'll add these. So technically frame hanging, we should add to our customer exact search terms. We'll do enter list, add those ASINs, target, and what you could actually do is set your bid to what it was in the report, and then you're kind of verifying that, which one was it? Yeah, it was this one. So whatever your cost per click was for these, they're averaging about 50 cents. So you could set your click to maybe 55 cents just to make sure you're covering it. And then you already know that that's gonna work, right? That's gonna keep all of those ACOSs that you had around where they should be. So actually what we could do is we go cancel, we add products. We could just do that right away. We go individual, enter list, paste those in. Oh no, I guess I can't do it. That's okay. So we'll add those in. We could do apply all. That's gonna have them closer to 50 cents at least. And then we will, it's gonna be really easy to see all of them. So you have all of these here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start clicking through these. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna manually adjust those bits down to what our cost per click average was in the search term report. So we'll go ahead and we'll adjust bid. We'll set bid to, we'll do 55 cents, do a little higher. And that should work just fine. So that's it. That's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this in-depth optimization of PPC video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and stick around on the channel, watch some more videos. I have tons of videos by Amazon FBA. But other than that, that's gonna do it. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you here on the channel for another video. Later.